there were about 400 to 600 people at the congregation on Sunday morning at the Yehovah congregation. That was at the Jamra International Convention Center. This is just outside Kochi, about 20 kilometers from Kochi, the Ernakulam district. And it's a very peaceful neighborhood. There is an SEZ there, there is IT park there, and no one would have ever guessed in their wildest dreams that a blast can take place in that convention. Now, ever since I landed in Kochi, I've been trying to piece together the story of Dominic Martin. He's been associated with the Yehovah Witnesses for almost 6 to 7 years before he left Dubai. He worked there and then he came back about 4 to 6 months ago. He in fact had raised many objections with the organizers of this Yehovah Witnesses, stating that the philosophy they peddle is anti-national. There are certain strong convictions of this Yehovah Witnesses where they say that though they are the offshoot of Christianity, they are an offshoot and also Christian denomination. They consider themselves as a sect class apart. They have very, very strong convictions, and a couple of cases were also booked in Kerala. There was one case wherein 2 children studying in school had refused to stand up for national anthem. When their parents were in fact called in to seek an explanation, they said that it's against their beliefs. This had in fact triggered a widespread debate on the convictions and philosophy of these Yehovah Witnesses. Ever since then, there was a simmering tension, of course, and this blast taking place right in the middle of a crisis in the Arab world, where the fight is going on between the Palestine and the Israel, the Hamas especially. There was a huge convention of Jamatis in Malappuram. There were 1.5 lakh Jamatis who had in fact gathered on last Friday. This convention was attended by one of the Hamas's deputy lieutenant, where he addressed the large gathering, and then 2 days later this blast takes off. This in fact set off a widespread rumor that this might be a retaliation of what happened there, but then the story turned out to be completely different.
Yeah.
This was by someone who belonged to this very community, who practiced the Yehovah principles, and then fell out with very strong observations and opinion. Talking about this particular character, Dominic, he has a very successful life, you could say. He has 2 children. He's got a son who is studying in UK. He's got a daughter who is a software engineer who works in the same neighborhood wherein the convention and the blast took place. He was so frustrated, or rather, the police are yet to put out that story as to what drove him to take such an extreme step, where he researches and procures materials for the preparation of this improvised explosive device. 4 of those devices which he in fact pieced together in his ancestral home in Alua. Alua is another a province, or rather outskirts of Kochi. That's about 25 kilometers. He's got an ancestral home there. He's got 2 separate ecosystems. One, his home where he lived with his wife and daughter. The other, the ancestral home. It's a 3-floored building. 2 of those floors were rented out, and he had one particular room which was his retreat. This is where he carried out all his researches. In fact, Mega, for about 7 hours the grilling happened by the Kerala police inside this ancestral home in Alua. They came there in the wee hours of morning, and this interrogation went on till about 5 o'clock. And there were the forensic science experts coming in and going out, collecting evidences. About 9 to 10 boxes of evidences were collected. He was asked to prepare those explosives. He in fact showed his telephone records, his research that he did as to how he could piece together the explosive. He used domestic materials from toy shop. He collected remote control cars, and then he put all these things together. He used the petrol as one of the materials there, and then 2 mobile phones were used to trigger off this blast. Post that, he was in fact taken to the crime branch in Kochi. From there, he was presented before the district magistrate, who has remanded him to judicial custody till about 29th. That's approximately 1 month. The Commissioner of Police of Kochi, he has put out a statement that he is convinced, or rather the investigating officers, the IOs are convinced that he was a lone wolf and acted all by himself on this perpetration of terror act that happened at the Zamra Convention Center on Sunday. So all those evidences have been collected, and it's all a matter of time before the complete story emerges from the Kerala police.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.